You're listening to the Cricket Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cricket Podcast, where today, or on this show, we're going to be finishing off our IPL re-preview. We've got two teams left, the Chennai Super Kings and the Delhi Capitals. Before we get onto that, just a few messages. We are supported by Woodstock Cricket. Head over to their website, TCP25, for 25% off your new cricket bat. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/the cricket pod. We are trying to get to 10,000 YouTube subscribers. You can tell I'm getting bored of doing this over and over again. We recorded all of these in one go. Let you behind the mask of the Cricket Podcast. So let's just get on with the show. No more messages. Let's go on with the show. Chennai Super Kings and Delhi Capitals, the last two teams we're going to preview. We're going to start with Chennai Super Kings. And holy smokes, have they been good? They have the highest strike rate, the highest boundary percentage, the second highest batting average, a pretty good 6-4 ratio. So when they are hitting all those boundaries and having all that fun, they're hitting the ball a long way as well. On the bowling side, they've been a little bit leaky, and they got taken to the cleaners by Kyron Pollard in one game, but they haven't been too bad. They've taken quite a few wickets. They're pretty dangerous. Deepak Chahar's rolling back a couple of years anyway, and he's that power play specialist that we all remember him as. In short, boys, unless you disagree with me, they are a very, very good T20 cricket team.
Yeah. Where did that come from?
Well, that's the twist, isn't it? In our original preview, I think I predicted they would come last in the IPL. I said they were a team of old men. They couldn't do it anymore. Dhoni had lost the plot. I just could not see it all coming together. I thought playing away from the Chapok as well, because they're the world's worst cricket stadium. I thought that would be an issue, but they've overcome all hurdles and they're sitting pretty second in the IPL table. Dan, is this a flash in the pan, or has Moeen Ali galvanised them? What's happening here?
I think it's a bit of both. Obviously, Moeen Ali was an unbelievable pickup for them. Don't need to convince me about his quality, and I think it's just even more mind blowing that RCB let him go. What I like about them is that they've done this through time, is that they've got a small core. They really back their guys. They've only used 13 players this year. And that for me is they've got a clear role clarity, although the one role clarity is that Dhoni keeps sliding down the order. The lack of role clarity there. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I genuinely don't know if I think they're good or they're not. And I know that sounds really weird as an analyst, but I see so many players overperforming where they should be. I think to myself, is Dhoni just like some unbelievable genius? And I'm sure that we're going to get loads of people in comments saying, yeah, he is. Or is it a bit of fluke? Is there some middle ground? Probably. I don't know. But there's positives and negatives. They've probably got, I'd say, Jadeja is a guy who would be the first name on the team sheet for most teams, three-dimensional player. Moeen Ali, the same. Not convinced about the rest. Bravo's coming off a pretty mediocre CPL, and is basically getting worse based on data. They've also got Lord Thakur, who's going out over 10 and over as well. so there's not all positives there.
Yeah, they haven't released their secret weapon yet, Dan.
Sorry?
Haven't released the secret weapon yet. Cheteshwar Pujara.
Oh, yeah, of course. Intent machine.
Oh my god. Right. So let's break it down to batting and bowling. I don't think, and the stats are maybe slightly juiced by Jadeja hitting, what's his name, Harshal Patel hitting him for 37 and over. But they're pretty good. What I like about this team, and maybe this comes back to the Dhoni point. It looks like, just looking at the numbers here, that they've got pretty clear role clarity with the bat, and they have a captain who knows how to use spinners very, very effectively. So if I can give you like just a couple of examples here, and we talk about batters using up too many balls and not scoring particularly quickly and using up those balls. They don't really do that. Apart from Faf du Plessis, who is quite hard to get out, everybody else in this batting lineup effectively comes in and goes for it. And those numbers are borne out really clearly in the differences between their dismissal rates and their strike rates. They get out a lot, but they score quite quickly. It's what I'm saying there. And then on the bowling side, talking about Dhoni using spinners quite well, Moeen Ali is we talked about Bishnoi earlier, going at 1.03 runs per ball. Moeen Ali is matching him. They're the two most economical bowlers in the first half of the IPL, were Ravi Bishnoi and or who bowled any serious number of overs. I think Tahir bowled a spell of 4 overs for 16 or something like that, but they were only 4 overs. He's bowled 72 balls for 74 runs. Jadeja similarly 140 balls for 161 runs. And Dhoni's sort of doing it again. He's using spin to control the game. Max, am I reading too much into Dhoni's genius there, or am I inventing my own narrative based on what's in front of me? Or
you're asking the wrong guy. I'm a partisan.
so you're a Dhoni diehard.
Absolutely. I think you've got to attribute some credit to Dhoni for that, haven't you? Because it's very easy to bring on your spinners at exactly the wrong time and see them get carted all over the place. So, I mean, from that point of view, I think definitely there's a plan there, and it's being executed pretty well from the looks of things.
On that point as well, it's interesting to note that Mo has actually bowled almost as many balls against left-handers as he has against right-handers for CSK this year, which is actually really hard to achieve as an off-spinner. So Dhoni's clearly using him in good areas. But you talk about the Dhoni captaincy genius debate. I know this sounds stupid. I do think he's in the upper echelons of captaincy. But what he does, this stuff should be like everyone should do it. It's like it blows my mind that most captains are so mediocre that a guy who just knows how to use spinners at the right time is talked about some genius when actually stuff's just bloody basic.
Anyway, yeah, they're pretty good. I reckon they're going to make the playoffs. They've made no roster moves. Max, as the CSK fan, you get to choose how many wins you think they will get out of 7 in the second half.
I think in true style, they might cause a little wobble, just because that's what happens when you support a team. Maybe lose a couple to start with, but I think there'll be 3 wins and comfortably in the top 4.
Cool, Dan, what do you reckon?
4 out of 7.
I think they're pretty good. 5. I think.
Right.
The old dog, Dhoni, the old dog. He's gonna remember how to bat again, because he'll need to have some examples for his mentoring job.
Yeah,
with the Indian national team.
That was good. They put out a good video, CSK. I don't know if it was yesterday or today, of Dhoni smoking the ball all over the place in training. So maybe he's back. Of
course he is. Yeah, he's back, baby. It's Dhoni time. Max, next team, last team in the preview. We've got a few questions after that, but this is the last.
The last team of the 8. It's the Delhi Capitals, and don't have a huge amount to sell the Delhi Capitals, as is customary for the team at the top, because generally you just go, oh yeah, they've been quite good, haven't they? They are the other team, along with the Punjab Kings, who've played 8 games and they've won 6 of those. So they top the table with 12 points. Pretty impressive start for them. They have benefited from Prithvi Shaw remembering how to bat. Shikar Dhawan currently holds the orange cap, and that is all backed up by Kahisa Rabada and Nokia, who's a pretty fearsome pace duo. And then backing that up with the move to the UAE is England's tormentors-in-chief, Ravi Ashwin and Axar Patel. So that's a fairly good contingent, and a contingent of 4 Indian players. Again, back on the local talent thing. Rishabh Pant. They've got Rishabh Pant. So it's a pretty nice set of players to have. And then just on top of that, someone you may not have expected to be excellent, but who has been excellent is Avesh Khan, who's been exceptional in the power play with some swing bowling and taken 14 wickets. So that all looks pretty good for them from my point of view. And again, not really many changes. So just the one. It's Chris Wokes has pulled out. He played well in the 3 games that he played at the start while the South African bowlers were quarantining, but wasn't good enough to keep his place in the side. So he is replaced by Ben Dwarshuis. Another Antipodean rocking an unacceptable moustache. So hopefully we don't get to see too much of that. I doubt he will play much. So I think we'll be looking at the normal, the same sort of lineup as they had before, except for one man who is back from injury. It's like a new signing, isn't it? Shreyas Iyer is around again. So don't know if he'll take over the captaincy from Pant, but Shreyas Iyer is back. And that news means that they shouldn't have to pick Steve Smith, but they will.
Why wouldn't you do that?
We just know that they will.
Yeah, of course they will. Of course they will. I was just looking at the bowling numbers as well. They got Stoinis in here. I can't believe how much he bowled. It's absolute drain.
He was like opening the bowling as well at one point.
Look, they're a good team. The only criticism I'd have of Delhi Capitals is that they obviously overrate Australians.
Yeah.
But they're a good team. They're probably going to win the IPL.
Yeah, well, they've made a strong start, and yeah, I think it'll be a comfortable top 4 for them. Dan, any way you think that people could get Delhi Capitals? Any way they could come unstuck?
Yes. Well, when I say unstuck, I mean not come top. Not top. Yeah.
Right, not come top.
I'm not going to be a fool and say they're going to lose 7 on the bounce or something. Yes, I am. I'm not a massive buyer of them. I've got to be honest with you. You look at their metrics and you think, actually, they're not that great. You look at the players and you think, they're not that great.
So, what are you on about? They got Tom Curran.
I'm not a massive buyer of their team. I think they've massively overperformed. As Max, I think, just said, they love an Australian. And it was interesting because I actually tweeted this the other day after the Dwarshuis signing. No, I tweeted, genuinely amazed that IPL teams haven't worked out yet that BBL bowlers generally perform considerably worse in overseas leagues than in the BBL. So I'd be interested to hear comments on that in the chat or after the video in the YouTube comments. Be good to hear your take on that. But it was by far my most popular tweet. At the point of talking, it's got 606 likes, which is the most I've ever had for a tweet. I'm pretty sure of that.
Cracking effort.
So there's certainly a lot of people who share my sentiment for sure. I don't think they're going to do that great. I don't see it.
Fair enough. I mean, their batting, I think, maybe is a little bit light, and Prithvi has propped that up, so to speak, by scoring an absolute boatload of runs, a strike rate of 166. And Dhawan's been, pretty reasonable too. I mean, it's a little bit more of a pedestrian. He's below the KL Rahul line, which isn't ideal, but it's not it's decent production out of Shikar. You don't necessarily think you're going to get that probably when you pick him up. What I quite like is that they've got I don't know. I'm not sure. Now that Dan said that, I'm looking at this and maybe they will. Maybe they are rubbish. Maybe they are going to lose 7 out of 7. Max, help us.
Well, you've got the thing. It's like Mumbai Indians, isn't it? Even if their batting doesn't fire, they've got someone like Rabada who can come and. I mean, he's not as much of a defensive bowler as Bumrah, so he'll go for a few more runs, but he will take wickets and he will be pretty menacing. Nortje didn't even play in the first half, so that's useful to have him come in, and I think Ashwin and Axar Patel might be quite useful in the UAE as well as a spin twin. They'll be looking to prove their case for a slot in the India lineup. So they'll be hoping to perform well, and probably will get the chance to do that now that Amit Mishra's aged another 6 months since the first half of the IPL.
I've just had a look at where they rank cumulatively in terms of some of their metrics. They have the highest batting average, the second highest strike rate, and the second highest boundary percentage, but they have the worst 6-4 ratio. So looking at that, I wonder whether maybe Prithvi Shaw's dominance in the power play is sort of propping up the rest of the side. But it'll be an interesting thing to see whether he can continue that.
Yeah, I mean they don't feel like a side that should have those metrics, do they? You sort of see them as like a maybe in the middle in terms of that. But like when they're relying a little too much on Marcus Stoinis for the firepower, you think that's not a team that you want. Not someone you want to be relying on for your firepower. Before
the tournament, I said they wouldn't make the playoffs. I think I'm going to be wrong about that, but.
Yeah, I think I had them down to get to the final. Don't know why.
Okay. Should we finish up with our predictions then, and then we'll do a quick blast through the questions.
Yeah. So, shall I go first?
Yeah.
How many we got left? 6 games left. Even split, 3 wins.
Yeah, I'll go 2 and 4.
Jackie, you just stole my.
I know.
Not many options.
You thought I was going with this, yeah.
You don't like them,
I
Dan.
went so quickly.
You think they're crap. Go for 1.
But I can't go for 4, so I have to go for
1. Well, that's tight then, isn't it? 7 and 7.
It's going to be a lot of teams on 14 points at this rate.
Yeah.
Half you'd be on 20.
RCB, the best cricket team in the world.
You're listening to the Cricket Podcast.